Beats Planet.
I'll tell y'all what, man. First of all, shouts out to Blue Flame and all the essential workers at the Blue Flame and all that good stuff. Let me hit this button, bring y'all on in. Come on in, come on in. Let me tell y'all something, man. If I hit big on this Doja Coin, boy, we gonna have a party. And I was just thinking, boy, this table's pretty small. You know what I mean? Like, this table's way bigger than the table I had at first. You know what I mean? But, you know, the more table you get, the more things that you put on it. So I'm like, fam, if I get any more stuff, I'm going to need a bigger table, boy. But I tell you what, if I hit on this Doja Coin, boy, I'm going to get if I hit on Doja Coin, boy, my table going to go from this big to this big. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, assuming we hit on Doja Coin, nothing's guaranteed, man. Nothing's guaranteed. But we will talk some draft today, man. I haven't had an opportunity to talk to y'all by myself. Like I'm working on having some people on the show. Foot's King should be here tomorrow. Allegedly, he say yes, but y'all know how brother Foots go. We gonna just play that by ear. You ain't nothing but a deer, and all that good stuff. But I normally don't light the phones up unless I'm by myself with y'all. So I know that y'all have a lot of questions. And I know y'all have a lot of questions because y'all find a way to find me on these social media boards, on the tweet machines. You find a way to reach out to me in the comment section. Let me lift my monitor up a little bit. There we go. You find a way to catch me on social media in various chat boxes and comment sections, and you ask a lot of questions. I may not have the opportunities to get to y'all at that time. You know what I'm saying? But this is what these shows are for. These shows are for you to reach back to Voch, and we can have a conversation about whatever it is you want to have a conversation about. You know what I'm saying? I've been working with Canadians, so I just said about. So the number's on the screen. You can call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. If y'all ain't got nothing to talk about, I can manufacture so many things to talk about. Well, we'll just get it done. We'll just get it figured out. The subject matter. We're always gonna have subject matter. Let me go ahead and type in Senior Bowl roster so I can have it in front of me. I just want to have the Senior Bowl roster in front of me, son. You know what I mean? If it get a little tricky around here, I'll just run down the roster. It seems like as practice has been going, I've loved the Panthers roster a lot more. The Panthers roster, they got the safety I like, the D line I like, the O line I like. They just got all my favorite guys on the Panthers team, and they got some miscellaneous guys here and there on the Dolphins team, on the national team. They got some miscellaneous guys. But most of my favorites, I've been having the most fun checking out the American roster. That's the Carolina Panthers roster, even though Matt Rule kind of bothered me a little bit. But the number, like I said, is on the screen. Doja Coin's at 5 cents. Boy, we boogie. Doja Coin still growing. We boogie. Oh boy, Doja Coin better not hit $1. I'm retiring. If it hit 10, that's worse. But yes, we're gonna talk about some draft today, man. So I would love to hear what y'all got to say. Enemy Michael done dropped the 50 in the super chat. Hey, hold up, fam. Let me go back to my button one time for the What'd he say? Catch you on demand. Your Senior Bowl takes are godly. Voch later, fam. Appreciate you for being part of the on-demand crew. Everybody can't catch this thing live. Everybody can't catch this thing live, of course, but if you want to just, hop in, say hi, and then watch the show later on your commute in the morning. If you want to save it for later, you got a little whatever you're trying to do. You can watch this show whenever you like. This is the good thing about this show. You can pretty much do what you want. You know what I'm saying? But the number is 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. But the Senior Bowl has been interesting, as it always is, right? And, this is the draft show, by the way. The title is Lombardi's Draft Talk. So, what was I saying? So there have been murmurs that this draft class isn't exciting, and I think that's a lot of mess. There's a lot of BS that comes with that, because that comes with miseducation. It comes with ignorance, And if I thought that Greg Rousseau was the best defensive end in the draft, I think this shit was terrible too, Or if I thought Chuba Hubbard was a top 3 running back in this draft, I think that this draft was a piece of shit too. If I listened to the media pundits and I thought that there were no good D tackles, there weren't many good D ends, that the wide receivers were. If I listened to the pundits, I think that this draft is a piece of shit too, But the more you kind of dig, it's not that this draft is bad. It's just that all the guys that are being talked about ain't the best guys. Let me just hit that one time, because we needed that. All the guys that's being talked about, not not the guys. You know what I'm saying? They're just not the guys. There's a lot of people I like better than their alleged, DN number one. There's a lot of guys that I like that's better. They pretend like safety don't exist here. They pretend that, Javon Holland, he's a possible second round pick. Voch, you should watch him. Andre Cisco, he's a potential second round pick. Voch, you should go watch him. Paris Ford, Voch, you should go watch. When I watch those guys, I'm like, man, these guys are guys that I don't have very much faith in. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, safety's kind of whack this year. I go watch Richie Grant. Oh shit! I go watch Richie Grant. I'm like, where you been all my life, stranger? He immediately cracks my top three. You know what I mean? I look at our Darius Washington, and he immediately cracks my top three. And this ain't even like on a small level, right? You can scale this shit up if you want to. It's like Penei Sewell isn't guaranteed tackle number one. He might be, but it's not in stone. Michael Parsons isn't in stone as linebacker one. Surtain isn't in stone as corner one. Jamar Chase is not in stone. Trevor Lawrence isn't in stone. And I'm just up here like, I'm watching y'all like, what do we? Just the more you watch, I saw somebody say, it was in the Senior Bowl video. I just dropped the Senior Bowl video about 30 minutes ago, premiered or whatever, and they was like, man, they felt like they've been sold a false bill of goods on Leatherwood, and I'm like, I feel you. What? Get over there. I feel like I've been sold a false bill of goods on Leatherwood. I agree. When they'll sell you on Leatherwood and Sam Cosmi, but if you watch a little bit of film, you'll go, damn dog, Darrisaw cool. Damn dog, Trey Smith is great. Damn dog, what about my man's from North Dakota State? Let me get his name so I can be appropriate here. Let's go to O-line, North Dakota State. Or you on the other squad. You might be on the other squad. I'm going to find you, fella. You're going to get your name said. North Dakota State. I can't find North Dakota State. What kind of tomfoolery? There it goes. Dylan Redunes, right, from North Dakota State. I'm like, why are we not mentioning these guys? And I like these guys better than those guys. Nick Gasher just hit me up and, asked me about the running back from North Carolina. I think he's better than Chuba Hubbard in them. I think he's up there. You know what I mean? So I just encourage everyone. Like Marcus Mosher tweeted just a little bit ago, and I haven't confirmed this, but I trust Twitter Brandon, and he very much so alerted me to this situation. He was saying something along the lines of like Richie Grant isn't even a top 10 safety for him, and that he's he's like somewhere real low on his top 200 board. But meanwhile, if you look at Todd McShay, he definitely got Shaun Wade way up there, and they was hyping Shaun Wade. I'm like, Shaun Wade he's Daryl Worley, like he's Daryl Worley. Like he's Daryl Worley, fam. So I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? We got 20 from Steven Benz. Appreciate you, dog. Bear down. He says, hey, Voch, haven't talked to you in a while. Here's some bread. I like bread and sandwiches and carbs. I love them. I love them to death. You know what I like about bread? You add a little fire, turns into toast. So I would love to hear from y'all today, man. Who are y'all favorite Senior Bowl guys that you've been liking? And if you don't have a Senior Bowl take, you can very much so just tell me about a player that you've been watching and doing your research on, because I know my audience is built differently than the other, you know what I'm saying? Like my audience go out and fight wars, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all do your own research for the most part. If you have a player that you like that big media is not talking about, man, let me know. Let me know when you get in touch with the show and all that. Let me just kind of run down the Senior Bowl roster real fast. Just give a quick thought on names as I see them. I ain't gonna lie to you. I really don't be caring about wide receivers versus DBs. I'm going to grind wide receivers and DBs at some point. I just haven't been getting into the safeties because I think they put safeties in positions to where, you don't really evaluate them that well. Like safeties and linebackers, I don't evaluate them well in this setting because it's a very stay up setting. It's a very don't get hurt setting. It's a, running backs don't finish runs necessarily. Linebackers and safeties don't go to the ground with people. We see a lot of one-on-one drills. We even see 7-on-7 drills to an extent. But, it's hard to gauge safety play without a pass rush, right? So it's kind of rough getting into those evaluations. Senior Bowl is strictly, in my personal opinion, hey, little man, get in there, girl. Senior Bowl is for wide receivers versus cornerbacks and O-line versus D-line. That's what it's for. But like they had Nasruddin chasing around. What's the receiver from Clemson? Rodgers chasing around Amari Rodgers. I'm like, whose idea was that shit? But anyway, Marvin Wilson been moving kids around. If you tuned into the Scoutcast pod yesterday, me and Jeff did. I talked a little bit about Marvin Wilson. And look, Marvin Wilson is a top tier run stuffer, in my opinion. He's going to be playing one tech and zero. So if you can get anything in the pass rush department from him, it's going to be a big positive from him. So shouts out to brother Marvin. He's been out there making his money. Boogie Basham out there making his monies while they're out there talking about Greg Russo. Carlos Basham out here being violent with his hands, super powerful with his hands, super quick with his hands. He's been making plays at 5 and 3 tech, so shouts out to him. Cam Sample from Tulane. What's my man Chauncey Golston from Iowa? He's been having some pretty good days. He's been putting them together. Peyton Turner, long arm Peyton Turner, making his money. Quincy Roche been beating the shit out of Leatherwood. Like Roche is like 9-1. Like he's beat Leatherwood 9 times. He's only lost 1 time. Like Roche's been putting in some good work against him. And apparently the Cowboys are having conversations with Quincy Roche from Miami. I'll be checking into him soon because I definitely got to do some Jalen Phillips film. So hang tight. I don't care about your linebackers. Trey Smith from Tennessee. He's ready, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to try to put him at guard, but I think he can play tackle also. I think he's a guy that's going to be able to play 5 positions for you. That'd be great. My man's from Grambling, David Moore. He's going to be a senior, a center, I think, on the next level. He can play guard, but I think on the next level, he's going to be a senior. Deontay Brown, one of my favorite players in the entire draft. He hasn't been having a great Senior Bowl, just like Leatherwood. They may be tired from the championship. I don't know. But on that same token, Mac Jones out here, Mac Jones? Yeah, shit. He out here making his monies. Mac out here making his monies. And if you're, this is a draft show for everybody. But if you're a Cowboy fan in particular, you need as many quarterbacks to be taken in that top 9 as possible. I just saw a report that the Carolina Panthers they're going to be heavily approaching Deshaun Watson. So how do we tie that in the draft or whatever? If there's a quarterback in the top 10 being signed in free agency, then that pushes another quarterback spot down. So that's even more right brick on my brick. Hell, you even want Matt Stafford, right? If Matt Stafford go, I'll pull up Tankathon for you since we doing a draft show. Like if you can get, and they stay there. So in front of us, we got Denver, Carolina, Detroit, Philly probably be fine. Atlanta, I don't know. We'll see. If you can get Matthew Stafford in Denver and Deshaun Watson in Carolina, guaranteed 2 quarterbacks going 1 and 2. You might get lucky at 4 with Atlanta. They may go, I don't know. They may go defense. They may go. I don't know what they're gonna do. They may go offensive line. I don't know. But if you can kill those quarterback spots, then it puts you right back in right brick on my brick consideration. Because if the Bengals get Matt Stafford, they not drafting. If the Broncos get Matt Stafford, they not drafting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting now that I think about that. So yeah, we need as many quarterback bricks. We need Mac Jones to be great. We need all this to bump that brick down so that we can get back in control of it. Because Andy Dalton wants to be terrible enough to win some football games, but not terrible enough to not terrible enough to complete the mission with his goofy ass. Let's get right back into my Senior Bowl rosters, and I'm going to look into the phone, see who called in to holler at me. 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. Who was I looking at? I was looking at the national team, or was I looking at the American team? He's an American now. Let's see. I forgot who I was looking at. Yeah, Alabama kids. Okay, cool. Here we go. That's a Michigan kid. He was uninspiring. I fell asleep on this cat. Mike Jones making his money. He was uninspiring. Shy Smith at receiver was making his money. Kadarius Toney. Not to be Florida jersey number 1 guy, but he's going to be doing a lot of Percy Harvin things in terms of he's going to be lining up at receiver. He's going to be lining up at every receiver, whether it be slot, outside, flanker, lined up at split, wherever you want to put him at. He's going to be in the backfield. He's going to be kick returner, punt returner. Kadarius Toney from Florida is going to do a lot of things similar to Percy Harvin. And Kadarius Toney is a rapper. Kadarius Toney got a mixtape on Spotify. If I Was Evil, we listen to it and see if he could really rap or not. But I don't want no tomfoolery with my monetization, so we're gonna chill on that. But yes, and Amari Rodgers did well also. Well, let me take a look at my national team, who I've really been a little more down on. Levi Onwuzurike, I've been really wanting to see him at 3-tech. They haven't been doing it. He was actually he didn't practice yesterday, and I would have to check my film to see if he practiced today, but he did practice day 1, and he did a lot of zero things. I really wanted to see him at 3-tech. Odighi Zua, little brother, was very uninspiring. Patrick Jones from Pittsburgh was cool, but Rashad Weaver, very uninspiring. And I just didn't get much. I just didn't get much from this group, man. The draft Illuminati was really trying to hype up Quinn Meaners from Wisconsin Whitewater, but I just they was like, hey man, look at him. He's about to go with this Notre Dame kid from this Power 5 school. Look at how he hangs with that Power 5 kid, and the Notre Dame kid beat the shit out of him. Like I just showed that in my last film session. Notre Dame kid beat the shit out of him. And even after him getting the shit beat out of him, they still continue to be like, look at him competing with that Notre Dame kid. Like, man, look, I know when y'all trying to sell me a false bill of goods, because y'all been doing it for so long. Y'all been doing it so long that it's just not impressive at this point. Creed Humphrey has had some good reps, but I still think Landon Dickerson is going to take over at center number 1. And James Hudson from Cincinnati, he is also fun. Both the Notre Dame kids have been fun. Dalen Hayes in particular has been fun. Teron Jackson from Coastal Carolina, he got that one move that just keep on working, but they ain't stopping it yet, so keep doing your thing, player. And the last player I'm going to talk about, there's this white kid, Ellerson Smith, but he's built like John Lynch, right? But like every time there's a like a pass rusher that looks like him, they're very unassuming. The Max Crosby's, the Chase Winovich's, like when you look at them, they're unassuming as athletes, but they get the job done as pass rushers. I think he could be like a sneaky pass rushy kid. You know what I'm saying? I think he could be one of them dudes. He's from Northern Iowa. So yeah, check him out. Check him out when y'all ain't got nothing else to do. I'm going to leave Tankathon on my screen because I might need to come back and look at it. I'm going to leave that up in case I need to look at it. I'm going to keep my button up in case I need to hit it. You already know. Ellerson Smith is a black dude. You bullshitting. Wait a minute. Let me Google him. You kidding. You're kidding me. Ellerson Smith. Holy shit, Ellerson Smith is a black dude. That motherfucker need to go tan, dog. I thought he was John Lynch for 3 days. All right, Ellerson Smith. My bad, player. All right, fam. I need to Google people a little bit more. That is crazy. All right, let's get into the phone and see what y'all talking about. Have I missed anything in the chat? I did. Pardon me. Smith fan 22. He says, how much did Ellinger's stock fall? I don't think Ellinger's stock was that high. No way. I think every quarterback that lacks arm strength that has upside, they just kind of call him Drew Brees. I'm not with it. So they've called him Ian Book. They've called them Drew Brees. But then if you're a quarterback who ain't got super arm talent, but you can run around a little bit and your team winning, they call them Dak Prescott. So Jamie Newman and Kellen Mond, they've been calling them Dak Prescott. If you are a shorter, aggressive looking, swaggy kind of dude, but you know, you leader guy, you motivate your team guy, you sort of big throw dude, you move around a little bit, they call you Baker Mayfield. I hate how they do comparisons with the pad, with like just with 5 quarterbacks. They take 5 dudes and they just compare everybody to them 5 people. It's lazy. And that's why I hate player comparisons, but it is what it is, man. Whatever. Hey, y'all laughing at me, but I had no clue. I had no clue that Ellerson, but his name is Ellerson, so I should have known something. All right, y'all, we talking now. Let's get Jess on the phone. Now, Jess, we are talking draft today, so let's hear what you got to say. What's up, Jess? How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. You ain't got to talk to me like that. You always change your voice up when I get on the phone. Now, Jess, you ain't got to do that. Now. What's up? Now, what you got for the show?
Well, my thing is,
Okay.
it ain't. Well, I saw a guy from North Carolina.
Okay, which one?
Real good.
Which one?
I don't know his name.
Okay.
I don't know his name.
Okay.
But he was on defense.
North Carolina on defense.
And he was.
Chance Surratt, the linebacker. I got you. Mm-hmm.
And he was pretty lit out there.
Okay. What else you
And
saw?
I seen a guy that plays safety.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw another guy that got after the quarterback.
It was a lot of them out there. Yeah. Right.
Sorry, I don't do good with their names.
Nah, you good.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a guy that was at Notre Dame.
Yep, it was a lot of them. It was about 7 of them. Sure.
I saw a few in what was it, Alabama?
Did you enjoy the overall practice product? Just, you know, the guys going 1-on-1 and all that. Did you enjoy it?
Well, what I caught on, what I got a chance to see. Yeah, I did.
Okay, that's dope.
I mean, I appreciate you for what you do.
Okay. Appreciate it.
And another thing, I'm sick and tired of the disrespect to our quarterback, and I wish people would put respect on his name. And I'm sick and tired of this. Every time we get ready to play, when it is off season, every time it's time for a player to get their money, these people who claim to be Cowboy fans, y'all not Cowboy fans.
But Jazz,
y'all not even real fans.
But Jazz,
y'all winning fans.
Jazz.
I know it's draft. I know.
Okay.
About it just getting on my nerves though. Every draft show, they come in. And then you got all these doggone dead skin. I keep going on their show. They keep talking about they're going to get Dak. I'm getting sick and tired of Burgundy and Gold now.
Right.
Y'all ain't getting Dak. Dak going to get signed. Dak going to get his money. And all of you people that don't like it, y'all can go.
I agree, Jess, but this is the draft show. Okay. Okay. You
I know.
Okay. Okay. I'm listening. I'm listening. You go ahead. Hello? Hello, Jess. Hello. Okay, Justin hung up, so I. Hey, let me tell you something, man. I be in the streets fighting for Dak, man. I be putting on for my quarterback, dog. But just don't fool with him, dog. Just don't fool with these foo ass Dak haters out here, man. She don't do it. Yeah, Nolan. I was doing my second video. And Pete in my chat box, Pete Long last name. I'm gonna actually try to pronounce Pete's last name. Pete, and tell me if I say it right. I know I said it wrong. Panagio. Ooh. Panagio Topoulos. Topoulos. Panagio Topoulos. Pete. Panagio Topoulos. Let me know if I got that right. Pete was hitting me with the measurements or whatnot, right? Like I would look at him and I just saw him as Northern Iowa dude, and I didn't really recognize him, so I just kept watching him, and he just kept beating people, and I'm like, huh, you built like John Lynch, but I guess he's built better than what I thought he was. He's built you know he could probably get a little thicker or whatever, but he don't look 6'7". He don't look 6'7" at all. So shouts out to Pete. Jess say Jess, you did a great job, honey bun. You get him. You just there you go. There you go. Jess, you did a great job. We just got an audience of 32 teams, and nobody was hating on Dak. You know, in this chat box, nobody was hating on Dak. We just are a 32 team conglomerate trying to get our draft on. But Jess, you did well. Thank you so much for calling in. Call him Pete the Greek. I don't want to call him Pete the Greek. That's too easy. I want to learn his last name. Let's get going. We got let's go Nick Gashman first. Then we're gonna go Justice. Then we're gonna go. Matter of fact, let's get Justin. You know what? Justin has earned this. Let's get Justice on the phone first. Then we're gonna go Nick. Then we're gonna go Antonio. What's up, Justice?
What up, Voch? I would just like to come on to your show and publicly apologize to the 2021 class, bro.
Okay.
Y'all, I slept on all of you.
Okay. Talk to us.
This year will be high. Like, first off, I would like to say, someone gave that UCLA running back some bad advice. Someone told him to get to 186 and become a wide receiver, and I'm not for that. I would have put him at wide receiver. I would have put him at running back 4 as a third rounder if he was running routes like that against corners.
Yeah. He could just be a dude to where he could just play both. Put him at both. Put him at running back sometime. Put him at wide receivers. I like him in both roles, but you're right. They made him change his body up, so that is what it is. But go ahead.
You see a whole bunch of kids out here that just like that Meadow Fanu cat that Syracuse one with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one looks like you could turn him into a hybrid safety type.
Sure.
Hopefully he can play deep, unlike his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you can keep him at slot corner because you're starting to see a lot more taller, athletic slot corners in the league.
Sure.
You can do a lot of things with him. Like there's the Oklahoma kid Trey Brown that getting picks in one-on-ones versus wide receiver.
Sure.
As a DB myself, like that is one of the most hardest things to do.
Yep.
One-on-ones are built to have DBs fail, bro.
Mm-hmm. Like Justice, like this draft. Like most drafts, you just got to know where it's good at, And if you listen to most people, they would say that this draft kind of funky or whatever. But I think, like once you get past the top 11 or whatever, all right, cool. It's gonna be a little boring point to where this is gonna happen. But from pick 23 to about 67, that shit gonna turn up real crazy, and it's gonna be fun to look.
Yeah, we go.
Go ahead.
There ain't no normal speed rushers in this class. There's a good bit of speed rushers in this class that's 6'5" and got long arms to them.
Yep.
I'm down for all of it, bro. Like we got that Houston kid with 35-inch arms. We got that Ellison kid that's 6'7".
Peyton Hudson.
We got a whole bunch of Greg Roseman shouldn't be in the discussion anymore. Like. It almost looks like that chase on thing that happened last year. Like I was trying to tell people, like, bro, we got speed rushers on speed rushers on speed rushers in this class. There ain't no reason why Chase on going in the first round. But now we got speed rushers with long arms,
sure,
or defensive, or whatever you want to call them, defensive end, I guess. Or you want to call them defensive end, I guess, bro. But like, there ain't no reason why whatever the kid name should be going in the first round at all.
Russo, yeah.
It like when I first delved into the usual ones that you hear going through college, Sertain, Holland, Leatherwood. Like I was really disappointed in all of them because like they were all fine, but they weren't like top 10 defensive players.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had the quarterbacks who were very good. But again, those defensive players weren't like what we've had in the past. So like I was really down in this draft class, but then the Senior Bowl, like all these offensive linemen starting to show up out of nowhere. Like you're gonna have a lot of toolsy kind of players in this draft that you can develop for your team to become good depth players for you.
Timeout. Panayotopoulos? Is that it, Pete? Panayotopoulos? Let me know if I got that right, Pete. My bad, Justice. Go ahead. But this is why trading back is so important in this draft, right? So whoever is control of these quarterback picks, trading back is way more important because you don't really want to go up in this draft because there aren't many top tier guys that you really want to grab in this draft. I think last year there were some receivers that you could really see yourself moving up to go get, or there were some offensive linemen that you could really see yourself moving up to go get. I think the Buccaneers actually moved around and they ended up getting worse. So that just kind of makes sense for them. But you really want to have multiple second round picks because from a Cowboys, just from my own Cowboys like angle or whatever, I want a safety and I want a D tackle, and those dudes gonna go right in the 30s, like 30s, 40s, 50s. There's gonna be a run on them, and that's where I want most of my picks, man. I think that's where you're gonna get your best return at.
If you don't need a quarterback, trade back, get out of there. It is not worth it for you. Like you can. Like you're gonna find like every like I know you, me, we're all gonna find that one player that like strikes at our hearts that like, bro, I don't care if it's in round 2 at my second pick, I don't care if it's the first round pick, I'm picking this dude. But in this draft, there's so many of those guys where you're just like, I just want to develop you into what you're supposed to be, to where like I gotta get all of them, and you want to trade back for them. If you don't need a corner, if you don't need a quarterback, trade back. If you need a corner, either pick J.C. Horn or trade back, bro. You don't need any of these first round players they talking about.
Sure, fair enough. Great call, Justice. Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. We got Sports Guru 95. Drop the 5 in the super chat. Appreciate you, my good sir. He just say W. I agree. W back, player. W back. W. Wait. What's going on with my phones now? What's going on? Wait a minute. Yeah. Get him up out of there. Yo, Nick Gash, the time out, man, because cool ass Drake on the phone, and Drake act like he don't like my content no more, dog. I ain't heard from this man in 2 years. What's up, cool ass Drake? What's good with you, man?
Hey man, no, I'm still watching in the shadows. I just don't get as involved as much, I guess.
But you one of the earlier pillars of my draft community or whatever. You was around when I had tabs on the screen, cool ass Drake. You was in my first 100 or so subscribers, dog. You just can't watch from the shadows. That ain't how this works, player.
No one's doing NFL draft content as effectively as you, Voch. You're the most entertaining by far.
I appreciate you, my guy.
And you're very on point. And you got all the info, you know.
Appreciate you, my guy. What you looking for this year? You're a Ravens fan, so
yeah.
you know my condolences about what happened and all that. But how you trying to make your team better going into next year, my guy? What you gonna do?
It's tough with the Ravens because you could approach what they need to do this offseason from so many different angles. I mean, center is the most pressing need. By far, they need a guy who can snap the ball.
Right.
And the center problems were a mess for the Ravens this year.
Right.
But gotta get the interior offensive line. They need another receiver. Ideally, I think like a free agent veteran like Allen Robinson, or I like Kenny Golladay. I think he's a little underrated as a free agent just because he's a Lion.
Sure.
But so who knows how they'll do in the draft. But this year, as for Senior Bowl guys, I really like Teron Jackson.
Okay.
What do you? Yeah, I heard you mention him earlier, saying he's got that one move that's just working over and over.
Yeah.
I think
From Coastal Carolina. So he's about 280, and they had him playing 3-tech, and I'm like, okay, you know, like if you want to use him like as a smaller 3-tech on some passing downs, I mean, you know, that'll make a little sense. You know, he's good with his hands, smart with his hands, violent with his hands. He got that one you know, reach, pull cloth, shoulder down over the top, you know what I mean? That's a good move for him. But I think if you like put just a little more weight on him, like not too much, I think he's a full time.
Is he really a 280 right now?
He's about 280 now, allegedly. I'm sure one of my measurement nerds will drop that in the chat box for us and we'll know. But he's 280, but he looks a lot smaller than that. So I think he needs a little more functional weight. And then he'll be able to.
Yeah, so he's kind of tweening. He's kind of a tweener on the defensive line at this point. If he's like 280.
Yeah, like he's not linebacker
if he
size.
can get up to like
Yeah.
closer to 290, play like 3-4 defensive end, I guess, on the inside.
Yeah, possibly. He might be one of them dudes to where he loses fat, but he gets muscle because, you know, the league gives people peanut butter and they just get bigger. Like in one off season and shit, they just grow big and strong for no reason. So he'll probably get some of that and just kind of even out a little bit. But I like him as a second round guy. Go ahead.
I just like him as like a sort of like a maybe early third round guy if he falls that far. Late second maybe if once the guys like Patrick Jones and them are off the board, you know.
Sure, 100%. Totally agree. What else you got, man? You ain't looking for wide receiver help for Lamar Jackson, man?
The thing about the Ravens receiver setup is they didn't use Devin Duvernay like at all last year. Right. And they should have.
Pro
They got
too.
Duvernay and Hollywood Brown, and I still think Miles Boykin is capable of like making some sort of a jump.
Okay.
But I just don't like all the Ravens brass has been saying like it's definitely a concern, and it needs like you can upgrade. There can be upgrades made, but it's not necessarily something that I think needs to be the focus of their early round sort of like fix up. Like I like some of the later round guys like Warren Jackson from Colorado.
Right. Yeah.
Just because I don't know, like Kadarius Toney, I'm starting to buy the Kadarius Toney hype quite a bit, but I just don't know with Hollywood Brown and Devin Duvernay if Kadarius Toney is the right receiver to bring in. I don't know.
Yeah, he's very similar to the guys that you have, honestly. But
exactly.
But I just don't know if I'm buying him where he's projected to be picked at. Like some people are looking at him like as a late first, middle first kind of guy. I think you can get what he gives you as a player from somebody else. Like he's a good player, but he doesn't strike me as a CeeDee Lamb type, as a Jerry Jeudy type. And these are receivers that went in the teens last year or whatever. So I think you can hold out and just find you another guy. There's a dude from Central Michigan. Pardon me. Let me go find his name. That's been tearing people ass up at the Senior Bowl here. Western Michigan. Dwayne Eskridge. Go get him. He's a route runner. Go get him. He's a route runner.
I've heard his name. I still have to watch Eskridge, yeah.
He's nice. Go Google him.
Yeah, and what you were saying, Mac Jones was making money. I agree with that. I think Mac Jones is Mac Jones is interesting, isn't he? Like, because if everything goes right, he's really good. Yeah,
fair enough. He is. But that's all you need, though. That's all you need. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, like, so when you look at Mac Jones with, like, Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, how do you look at him compared to those guys?
Nah, he's not up there. I think Zach Wilson may be quarterback one. I can't prove it yet, but he may be up there for me.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, actually.
Yeah.
I think Zach Wilson's fantastic.
Yeah, it's Zach and Trevor, then a little bit, then it's Justin and Trey, then a smidgen, then it's like Mac. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people can say he's a product of the guys around him, but so was Joe Burrow, so was Trevor Lawrence, so everybody except Zach Wilson had top tier receivers on their team. So I really don't want to get into the everything was perfect conversation when it comes to Mac Jones. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Mac and Fields, they're like right there neck and neck for me. I think those guys are. I don't know. I might like Mac a little more than Fields, but
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yep.
Well, my favorite player this year though, Najee Harris. I think he's fantastic.
Sure.
50 touchdowns in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude's a beast.
Najee Harris. So Najee, of those like 3 running backs that could have came out last year that went back to school, I think he was the only one that like got better. I think Chuba got worse. ETN kind of leveled out a little bit, but Najee got significantly better, in my opinion.
I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah. I mean, have you checked out Javian Hawkins from Louisville at all?
Nope. Who was that?
Some of the guys in like the Ravens group that we talk in someone brought up Javian Hawkins, and he's Louisville. I would put him down on your watch list, man. He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
It's January, player. I got time. But yo, cool ass Drake. Listen, we do this every Wednesday, Thursday, and sometimes Friday, man. So don't be no stranger, man. Come on back now.
All right, I'll be talking to you more around this time of year, dude. See you later, bud.
That's all I need. Appreciate your cool ass Drake. I got hit in the PayPals. Hold on. Let me get that out the way. Who hit me in the PayPals? Brian Brown hit me in the PayPals. Hold on. Brian Brown sent $100 to the PayPal. Wait a minute. Brian Brown said, what do you think about Surtain or Farley at 10th overall? I wouldn't mind it if they were the picks at 10th overall because I would understand it. But in my mind, there may be better players on the board at 10th overall than them. Me personally, as of now, pending, Joe Horn from South Carolina is my cornerback number 1. Now, of course, it's January. I'm going to rewatch the film like 2 or 3 more times before I come up to my final decision, in which I will put those ranking videos out in April. But as of now, J.C. Horn is my number 1 corner, and I don't expect my team to agree with that idea, but it's just kind of I just understand how I think, and it just kind of is what it is. But yeah, but I think Rashawn Slater is a guy that fits in at 10 that's better than Surtain and Farley, in my opinion. I don't think Sewell's going to be there. I just kind of saw this mock draft where like Sewell was the guy. But the ultimate goal, though, Brother Brian, is to trade out of that pick. Hopefully a quarterback is on the board and try to get another pick in the second round somewhere. That's the goal. So right brick on my brick. Appreciate you for that Hyundai, man. I'm going to invest this. So it's going to a great place, Brother Brian. You ain't got to worry about me doing nothing stupid with this Hyundai. I'm about to go invest it right now, Brother Brian. I appreciate you for your contribution to this old thing that we do here. Ray Martinez says, is Javon Holland available at round 2 for the Raiders? Let me tell you something, Ray Martinez. If you'd asked me this question in like October or something, I would have said, yes, he's available and you should draft him in the second round, because Raiders fans really like to attack me and they like to annoy me. So I get into a lot of fights with Raiders fans. But Voch, in January, I'm more of a man of the people. I'm cool with everybody. It don't matter what team, because I think fan rivalries get a little overrated. As a Cowboy fan talking to a Raider fan, you don't want to get Javon Holland in the second round. Just take my advice. If somebody takes Javon Holland in the second round, I'm going to do a pretty hefty laugh on that note. So that's just that. Let's get Nick Gash on the phone, see what he's talking about. Nick Gash, what's happening? Time out, Nick. Ryan Sullivan says, Voch, you take Venmo. I really currently don't, but I'll make a Venmo if that's what we doing for the contribution. I will make a motherfucking Venmo. You know what I'm talking about? Yo, Voch, you got Zelle? Nah, but it take 2 minutes to make one. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Let me know if that's your vibe. I appreciate you for your contribution. Nick Gasher, what's happening, sir?
Not much, Voch, man. I'll just say on that last call, I've not heard from Cool Ass Drake in forever.
It's been a minute.
To come back more often, because he's a very knowledgeable draft guy, and I like him a lot.
100%. I agree.
Yeah, but this Senior Bowl is really showing I love the Senior Bowl this year because it's really showing who, like how deep this draft class goes, right? Because you were right in the beginning when you were talking about like people aren't really like rating this draft class too highly. But the fact of the matter is, when I have currently, I'm not done. I'm far from done with scouting, but when I have 56 round 1 and 2 grades compared to last year's about 49, that's a sign in the right direction. When I have 31 first round grades to last year's like 25 or whatnot, that's a sign that we're going in the good direction with this draft class.
Right.
It's not too overly top heavy, but it's really good. And this whenever I get down to like like 20 to like to 60, I get excited because like these are the dudes that are going to make up this draft class. Landon Dickerson, dudes like Landon Dickerson, Rondale Moore could be a solid like day 2 pick. Hamsan Nasiraldeen, which I really like him. Creed Humphrey's making himself some money at the Senior Bowl down there.
Trey Smith.
Mac Jones is doing the same. Yeah, I haven't watched Trey Smith, but he's like next on my list right after I finish Michael Carter. Trey Smith has been making a ton of money down there. He could go potentially in the first round. And I've been trying to tell everybody, Trey Smith is for real for the last 3 years, but he keeps going back to school to get that degree.
Right.
And I've been waiting for him to come out and play some football for a while now, so it's good to finally see him there.
Yep. Go ahead.
And then one more big point I'd like to make before we get into other discussion or whatever. Kwity Paye, I watched your little video on him last week, right? And then the next day it comes out that he runs the 4th fastest recorded 3-cone drill, or would be, right? Incredible athleticism. And then he's kettlebell Bulgarian squatting like 200 pounds with 3 weight vests on him, 250 pounds, and he's doing that on one leg. Yeah. And I've done those types of squats before with like 100 pounds because those are difficult. Those are so hard to get your balance correct and stuff like that. He's incredible, and he's moved up to be the best defender on my board. Currently at number 5.
Tell me why though, Nick. Tell me why though, because I have a take on Paye, and it's not a very concrete take. It's a very take that's not very tangible. But tell me why he's your edge number 1 and why he could be my edge number 1 while I'm setting up this Venmo. Go ahead.
Right. So my thing with Paye is he like the first thing that pops out on tape is when he comes off the ball, his eyes go immediately to where he needs to put his eyes, and he reads it correctly almost every single time. I saw one rep where he didn't read it correctly, but other than that, he was correct on every single rep that he ran. He consistently has the football IQ and ability to think on the go, like read and react like that, to be able to go find the ball and go get to the ball. The run defense is insane. The way he collapses the line of scrimmage, I mean, that's awesome to see from defensive end. And people talk about how he isn't that great of a pass rusher, but he puts consistent pass rush on the quarterback. He puts consistent pressure on the quarterback. He may not have great hand usage, but he has heavy hands, and he just pops tackles back when he has to. And he can get upfield, and he can pass rush. Like, if somebody's going to teach him hand moves, he's going to be insane. And then, obviously, strength and athleticism comes second to that. But he's moved up. He's shot up on my board. Definitely better than Greg Rousseau. Definitely better than, like, a Joseph Osai, who I really like. Or Aziz Ojolari, who I also really like, or even Jalen Phillips, who I like too. So he's, for me, especially after, and I don't know if you've heard about this, Micah Parsons has character concerns. He's sexually harassing him. He's a bully to teammates, and that's not what I want on my team. So
it's interesting that last year we heard about the Penn State hazing scandal where they was grabbing other men private parts, and we just not we, because I kept making fun of their ass, but people just forgot about that whole situation. And I'm like, nobody gonna ask Yetur Gross-Matos about the thing grabbing hazing that they doing. So it makes sense that would pop back up when we talking about Parsons. Sure.
And I've seen at least like reports are saying like 15 teams have taken him off the board, and it's really early right now, so I don't know if I trust those type of reports. But like, there's where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And that's got to be one of those, especially with Yetur Gross-Matos too. It seems like it's been credible for the last 2 years, and if he's involved in it, that's not a good look for him.
Right. I wasn't even gonna put him way up there anyway, but that adds a lot to it. You know what I'm saying? But, sure. We'll go ahead.
And, like, the more I watch a little bit more film on him, the more I see how far he has to go mentally to develop. And it's not just in that Ohio State game; it's consistently in Minnesota and other games that I watched on him. He just kind of has a mental, like, it seems like he reads whatever his read is. I think it's the running back, just based on what I was watching on All 22 and stuff. He goes to where that is and then follows kind of the flow of the line, but he can get caught on play actions. He can get caught on read options. He can get caught on all types of stuff, and that's not what I like to see. The pursuit angles is another piece of that mentally that gives me reason to believe that I don't trust his mental side. Good linebackers know how to use their angles and pursuit angles to meet the running back where they need to meet him.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons does not do that, and I'd like to see that improve.
And, that's why he did well versus Minnesota, because Minnesota was just a very cut and dry, older pro-style offense or whatever. Right. Minnesota was like that. Wisconsin. Big Ten football is kind of built like that. But I thought the Ohio State game was very telling, where there's a lot more misdirection. There's a lot more movement up front, a lot more read option stuff. He was looking a little lost. He was looking a little lost. Plus, go ahead.
Even in the Minnesota game where they do have a lot of those just straight downhill plays, they had a couple play actions where I saw him kind of move forward, and then it took him a second to get back into coverage or wherever he had to go. Or same with like read options and stuff, or motions or whatever. I mean, they ran tons of stuff, but he had a clear mental pause before he finally got hooked onto the play and found out where it was going.
Yeah. So hey man, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Somebody in the chat box. Hey, look, somebody in the chat box say there's not a haze, it's a turnout. You say Michael Parton turned somebody out. I refuse, but go ahead.
So that's what my viewpoint is on the top of the draft. I still have I've got my big list of 20 plus dudes from the Senior Bowl and elsewhere that I want to go watch when I'm done with my initial wave of 100. Dwayne Eskridge has gotten his name on there.
Yes,
David
sir.
Moore, he's one of my favorite guys from the Senior Bowl. If it's not Trey Smith, it's David Moore, because I've been seeing reps of him just beating up on people.
Yeah.
Not even funny. I saw this one play where he was at center, right? And he gets off the ball and he puts his hands into Carlos Basham, and Basham almost falls over. It was
he don't
insane.
move. He don't. He had a crazy little rep versus Marvin Wilson. So I don't know if that came on the TV copy, but I got it in my Illuminati copy that I ain't gonna tell nobody about. He put hands on Marvin Wilson or whatever, and I was kind of upset because I'm a Marvin Wilson guy. But David Moore at center seems to put the satin on the panties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely on my list. He's probably gonna be the first dude I get to when I finish my 30 other prospects that I have to get to first. So
Nick, you got time, man. We got till April. We got till the end of April, man. Come on. We got till April. That's very correct. Yeah.
And then also one more big thing that we kind of have yet to talk about just because Senior Bowl's this week. Deshaun Watson requested a trade this morning officially.
Sure.
How is that going to where do you see, realistically, Voch, where do you see Deshaun Watson landing?
This is the problem with Deshaun Watson landing anywhere. And I said this on my Yahoo show. The compensation is going to be so hard for a team to try to go get him. Then whenever you figure out whatever that compensation is, the toll that is going to take on that team to get him is what's going to make this thing difficult. What I mean by that is Deshaun Watson is irate for a lot of reasons, but I think for the most part, he's upset because his team is bad. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
If he goes to a bad team and they give up draft picks to get him and he's hitting their salary cap immediately, it ain't like they can go get good players to go play with him. So he's in a bad team now. If he goes to a good team, right? Okay, so a team that's built up already. Good teams have good players that cost money. The salary may not make sense, so they may have to cut people to make room for him. They may have to trade players to make room for him. I think if Deshaun Watson wants to go somewhere, I think Chicago is a nice place that's sort of built already, but I don't know if they got the means to go get him. And also, they was talking about Carolina. Carolina said that they really wanted to go make a move on him. That makes a little bit of sense to me, but I mean, like if he goes to Miami, right? If you Miami, do you really want to give up all that compensation to get Deshaun Watson when you sitting up 3 and you sitting at 3 and you can just draft a quarterback if you want to? You just took 2 at 5 last year. You know what I'm saying? So now you're gonna go back to back using top picks on quarterbacks. It's kind of weird to me. It's kind of weird.
I don't love the Watson to Miami stuff. I think I could realistically see the Panthers and the Bears as my top 2, and then I put the Jets at 3 because I've heard that they're kind of sniffing around in that direction. I don't know if it'd be necessarily a good opinion or a good choice because the value that I could get from like a Detroit wanting to go trade up for like a Zach Wilson or a Justin Fields, I feel would be greater because you're going to get draft capital to go forward with that, and you can end up getting a dude like Rashawn Slater at 7 or a Jamar Chase at 7 that could really help your team out, and you roll with Darnold. But I think it's an interesting storyline that's going to shape into the draft a lot, and I think it's not talked about enough.
Yeah, fair enough, my guy. Fair enough. That's all you got for me?
That's about it, man.
All right, man. Call in next week and we'll talk about it, all right?
Of course. Have a good day.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. I feel some kind of way because like Nick Gash is 17, but he be cussing on my show, and I feel like he don't cuss at home, but he want to come on my show and start cussing on my show. That's fine. We're gonna do this.
The conference has been locked.
Oh yeah, and if anybody wanted to know, like just in case anybody wanted to know, just in case somebody wanted, just in case there's some information, I don't know, just you can find Voch Lombardi at Venmo at Voch Lombardi. I'm trying to take GameStop to the, you know what I'm saying? We trying to run GameStop and Dogecoin to the top, you heard? I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Look, if GameStop get to 1,000 or Dogecoin get to $1, if it get to anything, if it get to $10, I'm retiring. But if it get to $1, I will take all ads off my YouTube channel, dog. So we gonna take it out. What I say, $1? I meant $2 just to be. I meant $10 to be safe. So if Dogecoin get to $10, I'm taking all the ads off my YouTube. Diamond hands. Hold strong. Diamond hands. GameStop eating. GameStop. The community's eating, sir. The community's eating. Voch, you met my dad once. You know I be cussing like him. Who is I? Okay, if I meet your dad once, I would see why you cuss so much. I got you. There's a dude in my Discord named Ezrolo. Shouts out to Ezrolo. He say that him and his dad watch my content like together. That's interesting. Like both of them watch my my content. Like he found my content while his dad was watching my content. That's interesting. What was I saying? Yeah, Dogecoin and GameStop, they're gonna be top tier. Anyway, we got Uncle Charlie up next. Ed from Atlanta on deck. Antonio in the hole. Then we're gonna go to these numbers that we don't recognize here. This 931 and this 574. Then we're gonna wrap the show up. Y'all make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell because we coming right back tomorrow. We're gonna have Brother Flister King on this thing, see what he talking about. Kind of get his opinion on some of these draft prospects, where he's at in his process as of January 29th it'll be. Let's get Uncle Charlie on the phone. What's up, Unc?
What's up, man? What's going on, nephew?
Man, I'm cool and old, man. We just sitting here, man. We trying to make it make sense. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, you know, I'm glad you're all right, nephew, and I just want to tell Cowboy Nation, brothers and sisters, I love you. You know, Uncle Charles loves you.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted, I've been listening to the show. The show has been nothing but stellar, but great.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the show, and I love all the comments and everything. But I just want to ask you a personal question.
Uh-huh.
With all that's going on around the NFL about what we going to get, what we ain't going to get, I need to get your expertise on your first 3 picks. Now, whether they on offense or defense or special teams, I need your first 3 picks.
Just based on the players that I've seen so far, the top guys that I feel comfortable taking at 10. Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle. They say he's a guard. Also, I think he's more of a tackle than a guard. From Northwestern. Either of the corners I'd be satisfied with, Farley or Surtain, but I wouldn't be losing my mind. I like J.C. Horn, so I'm just going to say whichever cornerback that my team think is the best. I'll be fine taking one of those dudes at 10. My wild card pick is whatever linebacker they feel good taking at 10, not named Michael Parsons. And that could be Zaven Collins from Tulsa. I don't think it's going to be him, but I do think there's a dude from Notre Dame. He plays linebacker / safety, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think he's in the conversation also. But what I want the most though, because I want to trade back and turn my 10 draft picks into like 11 or 12, and then that's going to make me happy because I want multiple picks in the second round. That'll make me super happy.
Well, you know what, Voch? Now, see, that makes more sense. We need to take a common sense approach to the draft. And all the brothers and sisters that came on here earlier, I just like their commentary, and we got so much to offer to the Cowboy Nation.
Sure.
We got a lot of brilliant people in this nation. So let me just say this. Last night I ain't had anything to do, and looking through my phone, and I seen this show called Football and Things, called Current World Events.
Okay.
So I just said, let me get the guy a call, and he's sitting up there with a light bulb with no shade. And I asked him, he said, well, what you think about C? I said, well, I think if we can get the draft right, we'll do fine. And I just want us to have a good, solid draft. And then, he said, well, I'm going to ask you a current world event. He said, do you believe in UFOs and green aliens? I said, you mean them saucers that fly in the air and fly to the ground and get gas on pump 5? Oh, hell no. I don't believe in no UFO, no green men. I don't believe in that. But I can answer your question about what my belief is. If green people did exist, aliens, how come they don't get WIC? How come they don't get food stamps? How come they don't get a 401k or a government check? How come they don't get that? Now, I'm going to tell you something.
Right.
Now, I gave some blood 2 months ago to the Red Cross. And I saw people getting red blood, not green blood.
Right.
And that's my call. And I love you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. If I was an alien, I would try to get WIC now that I think about it. I try to get food stamps, but I was on food stamps once. I try to get food stamps. Ryan Sullivan dropped 100 in the Venmo. Would y'all please drop some flames in the chat box as I hit for this? He said aliens they come through and they stop and they get gas on pump 5. That's crazy. Can I get some fire emojis in the chat box for Ryan Sullivan? He was the first one to hit the Venmo. Can we just show some love to him? Appreciate you, sir. I appreciate your contribution, man. I promise I'm not gonna do nothing silly with it. It's all gonna go back into the channel. I promise you. Shouts out to Ryan Sutton. Did he have a question attached to this, or is it a question? Is it a question? I don't think he had no question. Okay, he just had diamonds and rockets, so we on the same page then, fella. We on the same page then. All right. He just dropped diamonds and rockets, and if you know, you know. If you know what diamonds and rockets and hand emojis mean and little puppy dog emojis, then you good. We ain't got to explain this to you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, ask somebody what diamond hands and hold on for dear life and puppy dog emojis and Elon Musk. Ask them what they all got to do with each other. I appreciate you, Ryan Sullivan. We're gonna put this to good use, fella. I appreciate you, player. I appreciate you. Ed from Atlanta's up next. Antonio on deck. Then we're gonna go to these two numbers I don't recognize. See if they make platinum, so they ain't gotta wait so long next time. You heard? Ryan Sullivan said, "If you're not using it for something silly, I want it back." I'm lying. I'm gonna gamble it all to see if I can make some more. Before I get to these calls, I was talking to my brother. Said, man, I've done a lot of gambling in my day. Gamblers kind of running my family. I wouldn't call myself a chronic gambler where I'm putting like mortgage payments on mortgage payments on like bets or whatever. But I've been involved in dice games. I've bet money in domino games. I've bet money on fights. I've bet money on football and basketball games. I've done DraftKings before. I've done slots and blackjack. I've been to the casino before. Like, I've done some fantasy football tournaments. I've done some chronic gambling shit. And that same adrenaline you get in those gambling situations is the same exact feeling that you get when you play the stock market. Same thing. Same thing. It's the same feel. You know what I mean? So playing stocks is silly. It is indeed some silly shit. But boy, that upside matters, man. Let's get Ed from Atlanta on the phone to Wood Boogie. What's up, Ed?
What's going on, Voch?
Cool, my guy. What you got for the show?
Yeah, man, I just want to talk about, now that you mentioned his name, the Jeremiah Wosu kid from Notre Dame.
Uh-huh.
I wonder why he's not getting as much buzz as I feel like he deserved. Because I feel like when I watch his tape, there's really nothing I can't pick apart. The dude hits tight ends well. He'll go head up with a guard. He's pretty good in coverage. Mm-hmm. He destroys people, shoots through gaps. Like, he does pretty much everything that I want in a linebacker. And to be honest, I'm a Georgia fan, and I'd give him a higher grade than I would have gave Roquan Smith. And he kind of gives me a little Miles Jackie type vibe to where, like, I looked at Miles Jackie, I was like, I can't say shit about this dude. He does it all.
Right.
How do you feel about him?
So the reason he's not being hyped up as much because you're looking into what the media scouts are saying about him, and media scouts still got Shaun Wade as a top cornerback, safety or whatever. But all the people that have watched film, whether it be the guys on YouTube, the guys on Twitter, I mean, you know, the guys that really grind the film for real. Nobody's around here talking about Shaun Wade as being a top guy, and they're talking about how excited they are about guys like Cora Moore. They're telling you how bearish they are, you know, about guys like Parsons, but they're bullish on guys like Zaven Collins. You know what I'm saying? So if you tune in to draft guys, because I know you, so the draft guys talk about it. It's just that the media people, Todd McShay, Kuiper, and them, the miscellaneous people that work for the letter networks, they're not going to have the right names up there right now, but they'll have it caught up by like April, because somebody will just do it for them and tell them put that out, you know, just to put this mock out, you know.
Right, and one thing I will say that was interesting about the Micah Parsons take, I hate to be the dude, but I don't really like him as a first rounder.
Okay.
Never really did. I just don't see it. You get kind of a vibe like if I could describe it, it's like he's faster than a tackle, but he's not big enough, in my opinion, to get past him. He doesn't have the technique or the pursuit angles to be an elite, like, let's say, outside linebacker rusher who drops off in flat coverage every other down.
Yeah.
So I really haven't seen what people like in him, because if you go back and watch the tape and you just watch it remotely, just, you know, side by side, I see YGM. Yetur Gross-Matos looks like the way better quote-unquote edge player as opposed to Micah Parsons.
Sure.
I think if he gets in the right scheme, like, let's say, how Mike Zimmer uses Anthony Barr, I think that would be a perfect scenario for him. But in regards to him being top 10, I think that's blasphemous, to be honest with you.
Well, I think there's a reason why he wants to play more edge, or he wants to be like a blitzing Sam linebacker dude, because I think he's aware of his own limitations, you know? And this the bad thing about Parsons' situation is, you know, the last film that we got on him, he left a lot, like there was a lot of meat on the bone, right? Like if you watch Jamar Chase, there's not a lot of meat on the bone. Like, you know exactly who he is. You know who Rashawn Slater is. When you look at Russo and go, okay, there's a lot of room to grow. Let's see if he grows. Parsons is a guy like that. Farley is a guy like that. Most of these opt-out guys are guys to where they could have used another year of football to get better. So there's this argument amongst Parsons fans or whatever, to where they'll be like, oh, Voch, he was only 19 in that film. And my response is, so the fuck what? Because that was his decision to not play at 20 years old. So if he's 19 and the film I got to evaluate him on is a 19-year-old, then fam, I'm going to evaluate you at a 19-year-old. You haven't proven to me that you could play as a 20-year-old. If you would have played, and I'm not knocking nobody for not playing. You make your own decisions as a grown man. But if you haven't proven to me that you can play, all I can go by is what you show me. And Micah Parsons showed me that he has problems with mental processing. I don't care who he's been working out with on the offseason. You fix your mental processing by playing football. So he ain't got an off season. So he ain't got like a Senior Bowl. There's no Northwest Shrine for him. There's no combine for him. He just kind of got a pro day where he's going to run around, and we don't know if his mental processing has gotten better. So you looking at me saying, yo, Voch, I don't know if I like Micah Parsons as a first round pick. I feel you, because you don't know what the hell you getting. To where if you look at a guy like Nick Bolton from Missouri, you look at Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame, you look at Xavier Collins, you know exactly what you're going to do with them dudes. You know exactly, day one, fresh out the box, stop, look and watch, ready, yet, get set, it's all that. You know exactly what you're doing when you play them dudes. I don't know what I'm going to do with Michael Parsons when we get to my team. I don't know.
I feel it. I got a weird question. This quarterback class kind of confused me, because this might be the first Alabama quarterback I don't entirely hate.
Mac Jones is nice. Yeah, go ahead.
Mac Jones actually, his receivers are amazing, but godly, when they're covered slightly or covered entirely, he puts it directly only where they can catch it. Mm-hmm. I'm a Georgia fan. I'm trying to find, why do I hate Mac Jones? You feel me? I'm like, I don't really know why I would. He's actually a really decent quarterback who I think in the second round or late first that you could take a really good shot on, which means if people like 3 or 4 more quarterbacks ahead of him, then that's totally fine. But golly, man, those 15, the 8 and 8 teams and up, they're going to have fun with the rest of this O-line and D-line class, because I think this is kind of your draft. This is kind of a O-line, D-line draft, in my opinion.
Sure. This is
the depth is crazy.
This is for the nerds that watch this show. You know what I mean? This ain't for the people that tune into the top 10 and tune out. This ain't for the people that's only gonna watch one day of the draft and be like, okay, cool, I saw the first round, I'm out. We're gonna be doing live streams on day 3, recognizing people and feeling really good about the guys that we got, and that's the sign of a really good draft.
Yes, sir. Well, that's all I got, my man. You take it easy now.
Ed from Atlanta, appreciate you. Another staple and pillar of this show. Appreciate you, brother Ed from Atlanta. Let's see what else we got on this old crazy train that we call the Voch Lombardi program, that we call Lombardi's Draft Talk. We got Antonio, then we got these 2 numbers I don't recognize. We're going to give them an opportunity to be platinum here. Yes, 931 is up next. 931 is on deck, and 574 is in the hole. But right now we're gonna go to Antonio. Then after that we'll go to the chat box or whatever. So let's get Tony up here. What up, Tom?
What's up, Voch?
Cool, my guy. What you got for the show?
Firstly, I want to talk a little bit about Senior Bowl. Can we get the draft guys to finally put some respect on Boogie Basham name? Because I ain't hear him brought up.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Yeah.
The NFL, the mock draft guys, the guys we don't like.
Sure.
Talking about Rousseau, I ain't heard nobody bring up Basham.
Yeah.
And Basham is killing it.
I've been talking Basham was actually the very first guy that I watched, and I was like, hey man, this dude better than Russo. What's going on here? But Basham was a very balanced player that people really didn't have a good feel for, because he didn't really show any top tier traits or whatever. And I think that if you evaluate Basham as a top 10 edge 1 guy, then you will walk away upset. But if you evaluate Basham as a late first round dude, you're gonna like a lot of things about Basham, and I really like what he did in the Senior Bowl, because he's made himself some money. I think he's worked himself into mid first consideration, because he's quick with his hands, he's violent with his hands, he's getting good pass rush from the outside and 3 tech, and he's just been whooping people ass, man, and that's just a good formula for getting drafted higher.
Yeah, because actually, like you were saying, I think he's gonna go in the first round. This is a really weak edge class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rousseau is getting hyped. That tell you how weak the class is. Other than Azeez Ojulari is probably my number one guy. Even though he's not really my favorite guy, he's only my number one guy is because I believe he has the best upside as a pass rusher out of everybody in this class. Even though as a player, I like. Hey, how I forget his name? Michigan.
Quiddipaye.
Robot.
Quiddipaye.
Yeah, Quiddipaye, like a robot in the run game. Only reason I like Ojulari more than him is I think Ojulari gives you the most upside in the draft as a pass rusher. But as a player, I think it's Quiddipaye. But I think Boogie Basham really going to get into some first-round consideration that he wasn't getting before now. Another thing I want to talk about, I heard you say earlier you had, Landon Dickerson? Was you saying Landon Dickerson was your number one center, or do you think that people have him as the number one center?
I think he's just kind of so like when I say things like that, I'm saying it as placeholder. It's not my opinion necessarily because hell, I watched David Moore from Grambling play center at the Senior Bowl. He started beating the shit out of people like, hey man, I like him at center. Creed Humphrey could be center number one. So when I say things like, because look, Rousseau may not be my edge one, but I'll say edge one as a reference point to where other people are putting Rousseau. I don't think that highly of Rousseau. Rousseau is like my edge, like 19 as of now. But you know, some people love him, so I'll just consider him edge one because that's what people are saying. So when I say, you know, center one, I'm saying Landon Dickerson is center one because, you know, that's what media is saying right now. I haven't really dig deep into in the centers just yet though, because it's early still.
Because I haven't really been following how the media's been talking that much this year. But I know the past couple of years they've been talking about Humphrey as like center one.
Sure.
It's like his freshman year basically.
Sure.
So I was, but yeah, David Moore been looking nice. I saw he weighed in like 6'1", 350. I'm like, damn, that's a big boy.
Yeah, kind of short, but he thick though.
Yeah, he huge. Deontay Brown ain't having a great Senior Bowl.
Agreed.
And apparently some people don't like him. I don't know why, but they, you know, because I saw he weighed in at like 364. I was like, dang.
You know what? Good. I hope they don't like him because if I can get him in the fourth round or something, we win. We win, goddamn.
I saw a site. They was talking about him as a late second, early third before the Senior Bowl. I'm like, what?
If I had a pick in the teens, I'll take him in the teens. Honestly, you know, like just watching his tape, I love his tape that much. And if you can take Quentin Nelson top 10, then you can take Deontay Brown in the 30s if you want. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I hope he can drop some rounds and make it easier to get him, you know? But, you know, that's just me.
Yeah, you know, Trey Smith been looking real nice. I've been actually hearing about Trey Smith for a couple of years, but I've never actually looked at his tape.
I've been watching film on him for 3 years now. Yes, sir. I agree.
Yeah, I've been hearing about him. Cade Mays ain't there, but I've been hearing about him from Tennessee also. I haven't seen him either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Trey Smith been looking nice. I know they keep trying to hot up that guy from what was it, Kentucky Westwater?
Wisconsin Westwater. Dub. Quinn Meanings or whatever. They trying to hype him up, but I'm not on board with it. You know, they're not gonna fool me.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that either. Mario Wilson. I actually want to touch on him because I heard you say yesterday when you said he surprised you. He had a little bit more pass rush than you thought he did. Because he didn't really surprise me. Because even when I first saw his film session, my thought of was he's going to be a dominant run defender.
Yes.
He's going to give you just enough pass rush that you got to keep him on the field on third down.
I agree.
Because when you was asking about him, I was like, he kind of reminded me like a Kenny Clark, like a late. I was like, I thought he might be able to go late first, but it seemed like the hype he's going to be going lower.
Yeah.
Because it looked like he's going to be a dominant run defender. He's going to give you just enough pass rush to keep him on the field, and it's not a lot of nose tackles in the NFL right now that give him pass rush. It's why dudes like Derrick Brown go super high just because any DT that's the potential to be a good pass rusher, they're going to go high. So that's why I was always like, I didn't get why a guy like Martin Wilson wasn't getting more hype, especially in the draft circles, because out of all the nose tackles, I put him at number one by far out of all the nose tackles.
I agree, and that's based on his 2018, 2019 film. I think a lot of people dropping him because they don't love his 2020 film, but it just behooves me how they can drop him, but they'll love a guy like Bobby Brown from Texas A&M or some shit crazy. But what I was saying about Marvin was, like, Marvin, when he would get sacks and like pressures on film, it was because he was being effort guy. Like, he'll just be constantly moving and he'll just happen to run into a sack by way of whooping the dude in front of him. But Voch, I just like technical things, you know what I mean? So when I say he was showing me things as a pass rusher, I was talking along the lines of, oh, okay, so he does have a outside rush with a spin counter inside, you know what I mean? He ain't great at it, but it is something that he put into his arsenal, and it's something that he can work on. So Marvin didn't have very much pass rush trace on film. So if I saw any pass rush from him in the Senior Bowl, it was going to do nothing but just raise stock for me. But if y'all want to draft Marvin, if y'all don't want to draft him in the second, you just want to let him fall to the third, I'll be glad to take him at the top of the third if you want to. It just don't bother me at all.
Yeah, because I knew he would have a good Senior Bowl, because even when I didn't think because like I said with his tape, I always figured, well, I think he has enough get off. I think he has enough explosiveness. I think he's strong enough. Yeah. I just don't think he has the hands at the moment. And clearly he's been working on his hands, and he's been killing it. Senior Bowl, man. I also heard they was doing run reps, which I don't think they was doing it. I think they was only doing it for one team, but man, I would love to see some run reps between Deontay Brown and Tyler Shelvin.
They have been I haven't seen well. You can go watch the film on that. You can see in 2019. You can see Deontay Brown moving Shelvin around. Go watch Alabama versus LSU. But
I thought they said he was having that was one of the games he was out when he was having the little off the field problems.
Nah, I mean I think he played against LSU because I think I got film of him moving Tyler Shelvin around. So yeah. He's that film exists. Yeah.
Oh, those two go against each other. It's gonna be an earthquake.
I mean, him and Marvin and Deontay they was in run hull or whatever, just kind of banging into each other, and it was interesting. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll definitely see what happens. That's all you got for me, Tom?
Also wanted to bring up I forgot his name. Actually, you just had it. The other Miami edge rusher.
Roche?
Yeah, Roche.
Okay.
He's been looking pretty nice. I think he could get. Well, he's just been beating up on Leatherwood.
Beating the shit out of Leatherwood. Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Leatherwood, I've had reservations about Leatherwood since I first seen him. Leatherwood is a guy that, he's big as hell, but I wish he played as big as he looked. You know what I mean? Like, I wish Leatherwood played like Deontay Brown. But Leatherwood's a big dude that plays like Jonah Williams. He plays like Andre Dillard, and that's kind of off-putting. But if you're going to play like those guys, at least consistently play like those guys. He only plays like those guys that he's quicker than. Like, if you put him against a quick, speedy, bendy dude like Roche, then he's going to have problems against quicker dudes. So I'm like, damn, what do I do with Leatherwood? I mean, Leatherwood would be fine because he has length, he has size, and he has some quickness, but he just got to pick his feet up and move a little bit. I think him and Deontay Brown look like they just got into a championship fight like 2 weeks ago, and that's probably what it is. They're probably exhausted, but I'm not gonna hold it against them. I'm just gonna watch the film and just base it on that. But come on, man, whoop that dude.
But yeah, well, I'll give Brown the benefit of doubt for now, because I always figured that his pass protection might be a little sketchy, but at least I know he's going to be a beast in the run game. I can't even get at the Leatherwood, because Leatherwood he's not a beast anywhere. And a lot of people talk about putting him at guard, but I'm like, nah. He looked like a guard, but he don't play like a guard.
I don't think he looked like a guard. He looked like a big ass tackle. He play like a little ass tackle. That's the best I can explain it. I don't know. That's the best I can explain. Yeah.
Yeah. Back on, I wanted to bring. I forget to keep talking about Roche. I think Roche he's gonna make some money in this draft class. Like I said earlier, it's not a lot of good edge talent, like top tier edge talent. So I think anybody who just looks good with a little bit of talent is just gonna get moved up.
I think there's a lot of edge talent. I think there's a whole bunch of edge talent.
When I say that, I mean there's no Chase Young, basically. There's no dude that's clearly above everyone else.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think a lot of edge rushers are kind of in this like tier.
They're in the same box. They're in the same box.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, they're in the same box.
Yeah, basically. I think a lot of them are in the same box.
Yeah.
So I think anything you do that's any slightly impressive, if it's from an athletic standpoint or a technical standpoint, is going to be huge at this point. So you can kind of distance yourself from some of the other guys at this point.
What you meant to say is that there are no edge players without question marks, is what you meant to say. There's no home run edge players. That's what you meant to say.
Yeah, there's no guy that you say that guy is going to be a star. There's no Chase Young. There's no Chase Young. There's no Myles Garrett. There's none of those guys.
But Tone, don't get me mistaken. There's some good ass edge rushers in this class. Hey, let me tell you something. I like Kwity Paye. I like Ojulari. I like Joseph Osai. I love Jalen Phillips. I love Teron Jackson. I love Peyton Turner. You just got to find your dude. The Golston kid from Iowa showed up and did spectacular. So I got to go back and watch some film on him. Roche is a guy I got to go back and watch some film on. It's guys, man. It's guys. We just got to go find them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you just at this point, anything you can do to stand out as an edge rusher is really gonna help your draft stock at this point. Because I think he might just go second at this point. If a team's crazy enough, they might take first. But I don't think any team's insane enough to take Roche in the first. Nah. I was trying to watch Levi, but I only saw like one rep of him.
Yeah, Levi got hurt. So he only played a little bit of zero, but he should be playing 3-tech, honestly. But
Yeah, because I've been hearing you talk about him, and I was like, you know what? Let me turn the Senior Bowl and finally watch him. I only got to see him do one rep. It was against Creed Humphrey.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, where you go?
Yeah, fair enough. Last one. Trying to wrap the show up. But go ahead, though. Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
I also want to get into the QB conversation I was talking about earlier when I was talking about Mac Jones, because my QB list. Now I haven't watched any film on all the QBs yet, but right now it's.
Well, how you got a QB list if you ain't watched film on him, Antonio?
I watch a lot of college football.
We don't do that here, Antonio. What you mean, man? You watch a lot of college football. What you mean? Go ahead, sir. Let me hear your list, sir. Let me hear your list.
My list was Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, Lance, Mac Jones.
I don't hate it.
And I think Fields and Wilson could be interchangeable because I think Fields may have a higher ceiling, but I think Wilson is your best chance of getting a sure thing outside of Lawrence.
Mm.
But I want to talk about Mac Jones because I heard y'all talking about Mac Jones earlier.
Okay, quick.
I'm an Alabama fan, and honestly, for most of the year, I wasn't really a Mac Jones fan. I was like, he might go in the first, and I'm not really feeling him like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, he got the O-line, he got the wide receiver core, he got, like, the best of everything in college football, so I expect him to do well. And then the championship game come, and some of the guys is getting injured, and Mac Jones is out there, even with a bum leg, just making plays.
Still making
plays.
Yeah.
He's not super athletic, but, he's buying himself enough time to make a play, even when Smith and the other guy was out. Even when he was top two receivers out, bum leg, he was out there making plays. And that game, for me, it moved him up for me as a prospect because I was like, I don't really like him. But after that, I was just kind of like, I don't think he's going to be a super upside guy. But at the same token, if you need a quarterback and you like 10 to 20, and because a lot of people ain't really feeling Contreras right now,
mm-hmm.
then Mac Jones probably your guy.
I think what's going to really help Mac Jones is he makes fast decisions and he doesn't really turn the ball over. That's what I really like about Mac Jones. And no matter who the competition is, he remains consistent. And I don't want to hear none of that, the whole talent argument, because everybody except Zach Wilson. So Trey, Justin, and Trevor, they all got a wide receiver that's noteworthy. Two, really. They all got running backs that's noteworthy. They all had a pro on the offensive line somewhere. They all had appropriate defense. Now, Mac Jones probably had a little bit more. He had the best wide receiver in college football. He had 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? But we just can't sit up here and act like the other teams had scrubs, because you still got to make the right reads. You still got to make those throws. You still got to anticipate. You still got to not throw the ball to the other team. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate you, man. Hey, but look. Next week though, Carl. Look. We got time. We got time to talk. I know you got a lot to talk about, Antonio, but we got from now to the end of April. So you save all them points and call back in next week. We're gonna talk about it. All right.
All right, I got you, watch.
My man. See, man. People, y'all be excited to call in, man. Y'all be excited to call in, get your points in. I agree. Draft season is the most wonderful time of the year. The other caller had to go, so I hate that they had to wait so long. But if y'all was platinum, you wouldn't have to wait so long. So let's give you an opportunity to be platinum. 574. What's up? Who this?
What's up, man? My name is Enrique Perez. I'm from northern Indiana, about 10 minutes from Notre Dame.
Enrique from Indiana. What's happening, my guy? What you got for the show?
Yeah, I've been watching your show for about like a year and a half, and this is my first time calling in, so I always have my opinions about it, and it's the first time I decided to share.
Hey, man, appreciate it, my guy. Let's get it. Share with the class, sir. Everybody, let's look at Enrique and put a lot of pressure on him, see what he's talking about. Let's see if he got some good takes. Let's go, Enrique.
So I know you might want to bop me on the head for it, because I know he's your favorite player. But I was wanting to trade Tyron Smith last year and somehow make a trade package, because I was really high on Mekhi Becton last year, and I was dying to get him. But to me, the biggest importance in football is availability, and I don't think Tyron Smith will ever make a full season again. And if you ask me the reason why Packers lost against the Buccaneers, it's because Bakhtiari wasn't there to stop the pressure. And the only reason the Chiefs might lose the Super Bowl is because Eric Fisher is down.
Okay.
So I want to solidify that position, and I feel like this is the best draft to do it, and try and trade up and possibly make a trade package with Michael Gallup, which I know who you also love.
Jesus,
and,
man.
Possibly get into the another pick in the first round, because we have Cedric Wilson, who's more of a slot guy, and we want to put CD outside more because he's eventually going to be our number one, and we're going to lose Gallup eventually because he's going to get top market money when he leaves.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to. Last year I was on the trade Tyron Smith because he's still young and his name holds value, but as the time goes on, Tyron's going to keep losing his value.
I agree, but as of now, if he's healthy, he normally don't miss the whole season. Tyron really missed like 12 games. So if you can get a top 3 left tackle for 12 games for $11 million, you just kind of got to ride that wave and just play that dude. You just got to roll with that dude. Now, if they want to go by my outline or whatever, in my personal opinion, I say sit Tyron Smith the first 8 games and play him the last 8 plus the Super Bowl, the last 12. In my mind, that's what I would do. So, you get your 12 games of Tyron or whatever, but rest them first few or whatever. In my mind, that's what I would do, but they wouldn't do that because they don't want to win Super Bowls. But I feel you on trying to get something. But I think it'll just be better for you to just ride with the guy, because if you're a Super Bowl team, and this ain't just Cowboy talk, this anybody listening right now, if you're a Super Bowl contending team, you don't want to get worse on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you the Ravens, you don't want to get rid of somebody that you need just because you can get somebody else that may be cheaper. You're not trying to save money right now. You're trying to get guys to help you. So you may look at Tyron Smith like, yeah, man, he's not giving me value, but you're going to need that dude one day. And yes, you would love to have a rookie, but boy, nothing makes me sleep better than having, going against a team with a really good right defensive end. I got Tyron Smith out there. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of got to roll with your little punches, man. And with the whole Gallup thing, yeah, you can trade away Gallup and draft a receiver, but you would much rather have Gallup. So just keep Gallup, and if you can't pay him, just get your 4th round compensatory pick and just move on with your life.
Yeah, my thing is just that Tyron Smith to me is hanging by a thread, and I don't see him making it through another season. It's just his back 1 week, or it's just his injuries are all over the place for him to stay healthy. So I think we will see him at the beginning of the season next year, but he's a ticking time bomb, and I don't trust Brandon Knight or Terrence Steele on that left tackle side. I wish the Cowboys would try Connor Williams on left tackle because I love his footwork, and the thing he struggles with is bull rushing. So you get speedier guys on the edge, but Cowboys will never do it. So
yeah, because they don't want to win. You know what I'm saying? But that is what that is, though. Tony Cannoli in the chat box, he says, "Hey man, just started watching your videos today. They're amazing. Keep it up." Well, shit, Tony Cannoli, just one more time. There you go. Appreciate you playing, man. Everybody, welcome Tony Cannoli. Enrique, now this is the weird thing about it, Enrique, how we normally do platinum. You're a fan of the show. You watch it or whatever. The chat box saying you don't need to be platinum because you hating on Gallup and Tyron Smith. Miss April say you don't need to be platinum.
I love Gallup and Tyron.
No, you don't, because you're trying to trade him. What are you doing?
The thing is, I love getting rid of assets when they still hold value because I know they're going to go down eventually. If you look at all these other teams, the way to go is to be young and be healthy and have a team that's going to make it all the way and be available.
I agree, but I think that only matters when you're team building. Like Tom Brady's 40 and nobody's 40-something, and they just trying to get to the end of the season with him. They trying to win a Super Bowl right now. Come on, old man, just get to the end of the year with me. You know what I'm saying? Pierre Paul, guys like Ndamukong Suh, they're older guys. They're declining guys, but you just yes, you want to be younger, but hey, man, just run them dudes out there, and when you win your Super Bowl and it's time to rebuild, then go try to get some young people. But if I'm playing in a Super Bowl game, I need as many people that can play on my team as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I need.
Yeah. Well, at least for Gallup, I feel like we got him in the 3rd round, and there's always wide receivers to be picked up everywhere. So I'm not too worried about replacing him because his production can be replaced. The Cowboys are amazing at drafting in the middle rounds. So that's why I'm not too worried about Gallup because I know we're going to lose him eventually. There's no way we're going to be able to pay him, and we still got LVE's contract. We still haven't even paid the main person, which is Dak. Which gets me sick and tired of it because I just want that man to get paid.
I tell you what.
Somebody's going to be the odd man out.
I tell you what, it sounds easy that you can find guys to play receiver because we've recently seen a pattern of playable receivers. But let me tell you something. For every Michael Gallup, there's about 40 Devin Streets. So don't get cocky. Hey, but Enrique, the chat box wasn't really fooling with you, but you gave me a pretty solid call, so I just put you down platinum. So next time you call in, I know it's you, player, and you ain't got to wait so long to get back to the top of the list as long as you ain't talking about cutting my guys, all right?
For sure, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Salute to Enrique. Hey, Enrique. Hey. Hey, so listen. If y'all were in the chat box and you was thinking, damn, I'd really like to be able to call in to the show just to holler at Brother Voch and see what he talking about. But maybe you couldn't because you was babysitting your loud kids and, you ain't want them to mess the show up or something. You may have been like, driving or something. I don't recommend you texting in the chat box and driving either, but I don't know what you was doing. You may have been at a house party or something. I don't know. You may be in like Korea or something. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning where you at and you land next to somebody where you don't want to wake them up, Maybe maybe you didn't charge your Obama phone or something. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you talked up your anytime minutes anytime. Whatever the reason is you couldn't call into the show, but you had a question or a comment that you wanted to run by me, now is your time. Chat box, what are your questions? If you got them. Shouts out to Anderson Amaya. He dropped a deuce in the super chat. He says, Trey Brown, cornerback from Oklahoma, is nice, bro. Appreciate it. I'll know by the end of this thing. I'll know by April. I'll have a full comprehensive situation set up by April. So you already know. Meanwhile, hey, Doja Coin doing work. Doja Coin doing work. So that's fun there. April say that cat you got fluffy. Indeed, indubitably. She about to get a little haircut soon, but she up under the table, just sitting by my foot, keeping me safe, making sure nothing under the table bite me. You know what I mean? Being my little guard cat. You know what I'm saying? Pinky ring. Aisha dropped 5 in the super chat off the strength. Just she just did it one time for the culture of streaming, you know. Even though I did a little video yesterday, I just dropped it or whatnot, premiered it. She was in the live, you know what I'm saying, like premiere joint or whatever. And she was like, damn, Voch, this intro groovy as hell, boy. When you started doing the intro, dog? And I was like, I've had an intro since October. Where you been? Which let me know she don't watch my videos to the end, and it's fine. It's your prerogative. You may only need 30 seconds of information, but I appreciate you regardless. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your contribution to the show. We need to get back on some Among Us soon. Mike Live, KMTV dropped a deuce in the super chat. Appreciate you. I'm looking at these super chat. I ain't even looking at I ain't looking at none of y'all questions. My bad. Tough Borland, what you think about him in the late rounds? Nah, I'm good. I'm good on Tough Borland. I think I just don't think he has the athleticism to do it. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's the one Ohio State linebacker that's not as athletic as the rest of them. If I'm not mistaken, if I am mistaken, just let me know I'm mistaken. Yeah. I'm good on Borland. Trade or cut Jalen Smith. I say hold on to Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith may not be the perfect option for you, but you might need him. You might need that dude. Plus, I don't think. I don't really know the situation of like keeping or letting go of Jalen Smith. So that is that. You know what I'm saying? Let me just put a little bit of time there. Gonna put that right there. We're gonna turn that down there. We're gonna put that up a little bit there. We're gonna bring this back down. I just wanted to. That shit crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. Can we get Ndamukong Suh on a 1-year deal? He's on somebody's team. JC reminds me of Joejuan. JC's a little faster than Joejuan Williams and Lonnie Johnson. He's as long as them, but he's a little faster. He's a little more athletic. Cooper was the most consistent player for us on offense. Still hating on Coop. That's crazy. I don't know why we got to move on from Cooper. Just keep all three. Why y'all disrespectful people? I hope we get Slater and the rest our best player available on defense. Indeed. What we're gonna do with Gallup since you don't want to trade him, and next year we'll be in his contract. Just play him on his contract year and hope that he plays well. And if we can't sign him back, then just get your comp pick for him. And if another team pays big money for him, because you only don't keep Gallup if you can't afford him. And if you can't afford him, you would imagine that it's a big money deal. If it's a big money deal, just get that third compensatory pick and just move on. I would not trade Tyron Smith for Von Miller. I think they've missed a very close amount of games in the past two years or so. So nah. Hold on, that's a trade. Any linebackers in the Senior Bowl? I got to look back over my film to look at the linebackers in the Senior Bowl. I haven't really gotten into them. I've been really O-line, D-line heavy, wide receiver, DB heavy. So I got to go back to look at the safeties and the linebackers. You know, I got to watch 7-on-7. I got to watch team period, and I'll figure it out. Sign Dak or trade. Why would we trade? Why would we get worse at quarterback? I don't want to get worse at quarterback. No. Do I see any starting tackles outside of the first round? I don't think that you normally see a lot of starting tackles outside of the first round. I think even if they're bad tackles, but they're relatively starting caliber tackles, I think that they get bumped up to the first round. All those like developmental dudes that get taken like later, like them lottery ticket dudes. You seen the compensatory picks we got? Yes. What do you do with them? Get the best guys. You get the best guys with the compensatory pick. My outro is crazy. Yeah, you just keep the compensatory picks you got. You just boogie with that. Quiddy Pay versus Slater in a one-on-one battle, or Quiddy Pay versus Slater like if they were both on the board. Who do I take? Shaq Edwards, answer me that question, and I can better answer your questions. Jalen Reynolds said terrible take, but I don't know if he was talking to me. Who talking to Jalen Reynolds? Sign Dak or trade Stafford and Watson was his question, and then his response was terrible take, but my take of why would you get worse at quarterback on purpose? I don't think that's a terrible take. I think Dak is better than Matthew Stafford. I think Dak is better than Deshaun Watson. So I don't see how that's a terrible take. It's my opinion. It's my thoughts, and I've done 9 videos or so telling people why I think Dak is a top quarterback. Now, maybe you interpreted that in a certain kind of way. It wasn't my take that was terrible. Maybe your interpretation was terrible. Maybe if I said that, why would you get worse at quarterback? Maybe you look at that as me disrespecting Watson or Stafford. But nah, I mean, I think Watson and Stafford are both good players. But if I think that Dak is like the 4th best and Watson maybe like the 6th best and Stafford maybe like the 12th best, I like all those guys, but those guys are worse than Dak to me in my personal opinion. So how, sir, is that a bad take? Maybe your interpretation was a little worse. I apologize, but that's my thoughts. Lenshow dropped 5 in Super Chat. He says, new lurker. Appreciate the videos and the film. Hey, man, like and subscribe, man. We do this. This channel is really Cowboy heavy during the season, but we do all draft. We do draft for 32 teams here. So whatever opinion that you have on your team that's not my team, then, cool. Cool. We will fix it. I made a crazy, and look, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about Dak, and then I'm gonna get into the rest of y'all's. I had a crazy little retort. I was shadow boxing with Fusty King today on Twitter because Fuzz love to hate on Dak a little bit, and it was what was I saying? He was asking. He was just basically trying to get the vibe on how people felt that Dak was better than Watson. I don't think he meant anything by it. He was just asking. But in 2018, Dak Prescott and Deshaun Watson were ranked number 1 and number 2 in sacks taken, respectively, right? So Deshaun was like number 1 with 64 and Dak was number 2 with 58. Now, Dak Prescott got worse at offensive line. Travis was a shell of himself. Tyron was hurt. It was just looking real funny. Zach Martin was hurting a little bit. Connor was Connor. They drafted some offensive line to help Deshaun Watson or whatever. And that very next year, Dak's sack numbers went from 58 to 23. And I'm like, damn, how is that the case when the offensive line got worse? That's because Dak Prescott improved. Dak worked on reading defenses. Dak got the ball out quicker. So him getting the ball out quicker, he cut his sack number damn near in half. Deshaun Watson is constantly leading the league in sacks given up. And people can blame it on offensive line all they want to, but you draft Titus Howard, Bowser Howard. No, Bowser is the rate. So Titus Howard, you draft him. I think you overdraft him, but you draft him. So he's a right tackle there for you. Zach Martin, little brother, was around. I respect Max Sharping as a guard. He's just kind of around now. They go acquire Laramie Tunsil. No matter how much more they improve Deshaun Watson's offensive line, he continues to lead the league in sacks. So how is it that Dak can improve and cut his sack numbers in half, but Deshaun isn't? It's not a product of the offensive line. You got to get rid of the ball. You watch enough Deshaun Watson film, like I do, because I like to prep myself for these arguments. Deshaun Watson loves to look downfield. He loves to miss reads, and he loves to get himself sacked. Same thing was going on with Lamar Jackson. Same thing was going on with Kyler Murray. They love to get themselves sacked when they miss reads. Mental processing and reading defense is a very important part of quarterback, of playing quarterback. So if you ask me, would I rather keep Dak or sign or try to trade and give up assets for Deshaun Watson and Matthew Stafford? And my response is, I don't want to get worse at quarterback. Don't just tell me it's a bad take, my guy. That's all. That's all. Let me just hold on. Let me go back. Let me just one time for me real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me just one time for me real quick. Hold on, wait. Let me just go back and turn that volume up so y'all can hear it one time. Let me just one time for me. See, I'm not the peanut gallery. You know what I'm saying? I don't attack people with emotion. You know what I mean? I like to get into the facts, man. But I appreciate you though, man. I appreciate your concern. I just wanted to fully expound on my thoughts though. April says, "Oh Voch, I bought my 6-hour 365 9mm today." I love the sights on that thing. I love the round capacity on that thing. I love the trigger on that thing. And it's a very affordable carry piece. Shouts out to you, TT April. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to you. Joe Looney friendly backup deal or gone? Nah, Joe can go. Joe can go, player. Joe can go. I don't give a fuck about wins. Okay, he talking about Carson Wentz. A bunch of bombs. Okay, now we just in the Dak versus Watson again. See, but that's what I do though. That's what we do. That's what we do here. So my 49ers got a ball on Watson. I think that's all I have for you all today. They definitely not Coop, Gallup, and Lamb. Yeah, but Dak was throwing touchdowns with Bryce Butler, Terrence Williams, and Alfred Morris at running back. So I think Will Fuller was on this wild run where he had like 12 catches and 12 touchdowns and shit. Like something crazy like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all don't have any other questions? Y'all don't have Voch, is Mac Jones better than Justin Fields? I wouldn't say that. But I think Mac Jones is he should be in that upper conversation. Eagles rule, shouts out to you. He's a very cordial Eagles fan, or at least what I can tell from the offseason. So shouts out to him. He says thoughts on Trey Sermon, the back from Ohio State. I thought he bailed Haskins out a bunch. Not Haskins. Oof. Justin Fields. I feel like Trey Sermon bailed Justin Fields out of a couple of times this season. I really like Trey Sermon. Interesting that he had such a quiet start, but those last 4 games of the season, he was looking like one of the better running backs in college football. So I'm willing to give him a shot. Sure will, 100%. 100%. You can only sign one free agent, Dalvin Thompson or Marcus May. See, I'm not of the opinion that safety is an emergency. I would like to upgrade there. I don't think cornerback is an emergency. I would just like to upgrade there. I think defensive tackle is an emergency. We are giving up like terrible numbers in the run game. I think if you fix your run game, if you fix your D tackle situation, then your pass rush gets better. You fix your pass rush, then your cornerbacks and your safeties look better. You know, I would be upset if we walked away from this offseason without, I'm talking about the Cowboys now, if we walked away from this offseason not acquiring any interior D-line help. I think that's the most pressing need. I think you can figure corner out. Like, if you look at the two teams that's in the championship right now, they got miscellaneous corners. They got pass rush and they got offense, but they got miscellaneous corners that's making that shit work, man. You better get you some D-line. You better get. Both of them have good interior D-line. They got Chris Jones on the other side, as in Ndamukong Suh, and Vita Vea will be back. So, yeah, hey, you better get you some pass rush and some D-line player. Tell you what, don't even trip on that. Fields is not Haskins bad. That was a slip of the tongue. I apologize, but you know, I like Dak, but I personally don't think he's Watson or Stafford. You know what though, Jalen? I don't hate that opinion from you, and I wouldn't dare call that a bad take from you. I don't agree. I think it's nonsense. I think it's madness that you don't think Dak Prescott is better than Matt Stafford. Now, if you got him close to Watson, I mean, if you think Watson's better, then fine. But I'm not gonna say that your take is bad. I just think that we don't agree. But, that's your business. That's your business. Dak top 5, by the way, man. I think Dak top 3, by the way. It just is what it is. The key to stopping Wilson and Murray is interior pass rush. Indubitably, Russell Wilson fell off his little cliff. Dak would never. Jeff Okudah for our number 10. I think if someone would give away Jeff Okudah that early for your number 10 overall pick, I don't think that person has faith in Jeff Okudah. I'd rather just draft and keep a player. But I don't know. I tell you something else Dak can never do. Dak wouldn't be handling this in the media like Watson doing. Dak wouldn't diva himself out of this. I wouldn't dare. Dak, Voch, could I interest you in Jeremiah? JLK from Notre Dame at 10. 100%. I'll take him at 10. If he's the best player on the board, I would take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame at number 10. I just don't think he's going to be the best player on the board. I think Rashawn Slater will be the best player on the board at 10. But if there's a scenario where Slater's off the board, you may have to go one of those defensive guys. Richie Grant, free safety number 1. I don't know, but Richie Grant's incredible. Richie Grant is like top 3 for me already, and you know how that go. He is top 3 for me indeed. Antoine Woods was beefing with Cowboys fan pages on Instagram. Hey man, y'all. The people of the team cannot interest themselves in social media and tomfoolery, man. They can't do it. Eagles Rule asked me, do I have any music recommendations? How old are you, and do you mind going backwards? And what genre do you like? I can definitely recommend you some music because I listen to a lot of music, fam. Like one day I'll be listening to Tupac. Yesterday I was listening to Division because they had the album of the year last year. Today I was digging on Phil Collins, bro. So it depends. It depends. Mm-hmm. Dak would lose a playoff game to a broken hand Jared Goff. Oof. Oof. Dak has better stats against winning teams than Stafford does. I think Aleem McNeil is cool. I think he's a dude that's not going to be moved, but I just, Who was better, Tupac or Michael Jackson? I think Tupac in his sector was, and let me be fair here because I know a lot of people would, just my argument on it, Tupac's music impacted me more than Michael Jackson's music. Tupac can never sell as much as Michael Jackson, but I mean, I like the art more than the artist. Michael Jackson was a great artist. Tupac was art. Prince was art. Stevie Wonder was art. Mike was a pop star. Mike was like Madonna and them. You know what I'm saying? Mike was like, I'm shy. You say Mike was like Whitney Houston and them, you know? Scarface is art, you know? Jay-Z was the artist, you know? Yeah, it's just, you know. Damn, you reminded me of playoff game. You reminded me of the playoff game against the Rams. Take Me Back, That's Always Better, and Eminem is in your top 5. Eminem is in my top 5 skill-wise, but it's a lot that goes into a hip-hop top 5. And you want to go backwards. You want to go backwards in hip-hop, I'll give you 3, and we're going to leave on that note. Listen to Mind of Mystical by Mystical. Crazy. Listen to, I want to put you up on some Phil Collins, man, but I don't even know if that's your vibe, dog. Listen to 1999 by Prince. Crazy. Then, what's another one before I get up out of here? What's another good one before I get up out of here? Listen to, let me go to my Spotify so I can give you a good one before I get up out of here. 1999 by Prince. And who else I said? Let's see. I was listening to Chance earlier. Crazy. Listen to. That's a good question. Listen to Devin the Dude. The Dude. Listen to that. So Devin the Dude. That's the name. He's Devin the Dude. The name of his album is The Dude. Listen to Prince 1999, and I forgot. And listen to Mind of Mystical by Mystical. Good diversity there. Drop your playlist. Voch has multiple playlists, so Voch has plenty playlists. What's some good Phil Collins? How about if I would drop my Phil Collins playlist right now, since I'm in it. Phil Collins, boom, boom, boom. Let's see, share, and then not only will I drop my Phil Collins playlist, but on the next stream, I want y'all to report back and be like, "Yo, Voch, this is what I think of your Phil Collins playlist." That'll be incredible. I would enjoy that. Let me go to live and boom, there's my Phil Collins playlist. All right. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. This was incredible. This was fun. I always like these things, man. They always the best. I like to interact with y'all. It just happens that this was a longer show that I wanted to be a shorter show, but it ended up being a longer show. But it is what it is. I will rock with y'all as long as y'all want to rock. But I'm tired. I've been running errands all day, but I hung in there with you. My beautiful Dark Twist fans is classic. But yes, y'all follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. You guys make sure you hit the notification bell, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Like and come back to it. I have some film up on my Patreon. My Patreon is in the chat box. Patreon is in the description. Pardon me. Patreon.com/VochLombardi. I got the long form film sessions over there. Got to be careful with those because the Illuminati watching or whatever, but I've learned how to navigate those dudes over time. So, hey, man, with that being said, y'all hold down for the Doski Wolves. Tune in tomorrow. Me and Fusty King are going to come back and talk some more draft. It's going to be from more of a Cowboy perspective. So, we got the 32 team joint out the way today. But if you're a Cowboy fan wanting some more Cowboy draft content, then me and Fusty King going boogie tomorrow. All right. I think that's all I got for y'all, man. Peace. I can't end my stream. I don't know how. I can't end my streams. Y'all just got to hang around. I got to go back to YouTube. I got to go back. I thought I was going to end my stream. I lied. Go back to go live. And I got to go to. There we go. I got to go to you. Click. Now at the end stream button. Let me make sure I got all my super chats right because there's plenty activity here. Shouts out to Lencho. Meek Leave, KMTV, appreciate you. Iverson, Sister Aisha, appreciate you. Anderson Amaya, Sports Guru, Smith Fan 22, Stephen Benzing, and of course, Enemy Michael set us off with the 50 on the top of the super chat. Appreciate you. Now, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski. I'm leaving. Peace.